How's that? There should be audio now. How about that? Does that work? TikTok, I know you guys already got the audio, but anyway, that should be the audio for everyone else. Um, Thank you for being patient, guys. Well, let's see. I got these microphones now. My whole setup is like a little bit different. Oh, excuse me, TikTok. I got to turn my lights on. The light. Let's go back to the rainbows. The kingdom of rainbows. And we're back with the rainbows. Um, Golly gosh, goodness, guys. Well, I don't want to talk about. Anyway, Roberta, how's it? Laura, hello, hello. Stephen, hello again. Thank you, by the way, for all of that. Like, I think I would have noticed, but also there's times when I really don't notice these things. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so I have, for anybody listening on YouTube and Riverside, I have a ridiculous echo, which I can hopefully get rid of. Why is there such an echo? Okay. Oh, there it is. I fixed it, but I can turn the echo back on. Yeah, which will be helpful for what I'm going to do next. Sorry, TikTok people, you're not going to be able to hear what I'm about to do. At least when it comes to the echo. Yeah. Grand Rising, my friends. We are in a new transit, which I'm not sure if anyone tracks the transits. But if you don't track the transits, I always like to say, you're not necessarily missing out on anything, um, but there are things on the table to grab. And it's so important to grab these things because if you don't grab them, certain windows to grab this stuff is only open for certain times. Um, but anyway, I wanted to start this live off doing something that I don't really do, which is unboxing things. I got two packages today that I'm really excited about unboxing. And so I'm gonna unbox them with you guys. I'm gonna go grab my little knife. Here's my little knife. And there's one item that I really want to unbox. There's one item that I really want to unbox. That is this item. So to start, we're gonna unbox this item, which I'm pretty sure is just some glasses that I ordered. Some red light blocking glasses. But oh, whoops, that was the one I wanted to actually unbox. Pardon me while I open this one, which is the opening unbox. This is the glasses. Hopefully, that one was the thing that I'm very excited about. Close this too, because you guys can hear everything with these microphones. I normally don't do this live, listening to the audio that I'm creating with these microphones. But for anyone on YouTube or in the archive, if it sounds great, let me know. If it sounds ridiculous and wild and crazy, let me know. I'm the kind of person that would rather know than not know. Like if this branch that I'm standing on is going to break, I'd rather know now than later when there's a storm. I'd rather know when it's sunny and I can just open my wings up and fly or hit the ground, before I'm too high up. I'm the kind of person that would rather know. And if you're not that kind of person, um, I believe that there's a simple fix to that, and it is a fix. And by fix, I don't mean that there's anything wrong with you. I mean that there's a part of you that hasn't evolved yet or matured yet that is supposed to be fully matured. Cha-cha sounds beautiful. Great. Glad to know. All right, guys. So for this first package, we've got we've got God, so much plastic. These blue blocker glasses. Which dang, if you're a projector or a non-sacral being and you want people to leave you alone, get some bugger glasses like this. What do you guys think? Pretty sweet. I literally got two of them just because I'm a third line and sometimes things get sat on. You know what I mean? This is one of the more comical, trivial sides of human design. I think not necessarily consumerism and packaging, but just the fact that it's like things get used up in life and people get upset about that. See, I just dropped it on the floor. And it's not that we should or we shouldn't get upset, but it's something that happens. And I think human design is one of the first esoteric systems, one of the most powerful esoteric systems that is helping us to surrender to what is actually happening. And so it's not the only one, of course. But anyway, it's not weird, just really focuses attention to your voice. Helpful to me, to be honest. Dang, you look like you're gonna pull me over, bro. That's right. I'm the police. I like the fade on the lenses. It's pretty tight, right? Like I get these because sometimes I get really inspired late night. Um, and yeah, so I got these because blue light is not great for sleeping patterns, especially when you're a reflective like me and there's full moons. Not that like I mean I stayed up late last night, not because of the full moon. I'm just in my own rhythm. A lot of people think I'm like tracking the lunar cycle and when full moons are and all this stuff. Not so much. I literally just trust my body so much to tell me what I need to be doing. Anyway, Laura, I have a question regarding the fish mouth breastfeeding mechanic swallow. Is the tongue over touching the cheeks? Is over the so like if your teeth are like this, are you as or your cheeks are like coming into your mouth, touching, is your tongue on top or below? It can be both. Practice it with that's above and then here's below. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The idea, Laura, with these positions is that there's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's literally what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. And certain things you're not physically going to be able to do. Like you can't turn your head 180 degrees. And no matter how much sensory design you do, you're not going to be able to do that. I think. I don't know. I've only been doing sensory design for like a couple years, technically. Prototyping it for many years before that. But let's take these off. I'm feeling a little too cool with these on. I'm going to take these off. What I want to make clear is that when you're in the archive and you're learning the techniques that we're sharing in the archive, which for those that are not familiar, the archive is a private membership where me and my partner Pasha are teaching the physical approach to human design. Human design is an incredible mental framework for us to understand our energies and our limitations and surrender to our forms, etc. However, when it comes to physically, what are we supposed to do to decondition ourselves? It's very lacking. And that's where Pasha and I bring our experience together in the archive. And Laura here is a part of that membership. And she's asking about one of the techniques. And I'm happy to talk about them here because it is a progression. It's not something that you can just learn one technique and be able to save the amount of time that the archive saves you. Like it took Pasha and I our entire lives to figure this stuff out, and we put it into a 7-hour course that's available on the archive, and then we teach it live and developments of it live every week. We actually have one today. So anyway, to answer your question, Laura, yeah, I found the above even more satisfying. That's it, Laura. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for it's like, and it's not just which one is more satisfying. Sometimes it's like which one's more uncomfortable. I'm gonna practice the one that I'm not good at so that I can get better at it. And which one's more satisfying? I'm gonna do that one because that feels right. So what we're looking to do is it's one of the first stages in alchemy, which is like reduction or being able to take a thing and reduce it down to its base particles. And then we create what's called separation. We separate the parts, right? After we start to contextualize them and feel them out. The first stage of sensory design is literally to learn how to sense again. Learn how to sense your body, learn how to sense pressure, learn how to sense heat. And it's something that over time, it's not going to get easier, but you're going to get better, right? This is something I love about this whole system is like things don't get easier. We're not over here encouraging people to find safer spaces. We're encouraging people to be safer human beings, be safer within yourself. That's the only answer to me that makes any sense. Like we could try to pacify the world, rip all of the venom out of all of the poisonous animals. That was a total flub right there. Venom is delivered, poison is received, like a poisonous toad versus a venomous toad, a one that bites you. Anyway, grammatics. I like words because they help us be precise. However, when I use them wrong, I'm going to call myself out on them. Hopefully, this will prevent anyone from putting me on a pedestal because I do stuff like yeep year, leap year. I do stuff like that all the time. And I think it's a natural thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And if I'm attempting to be precise, that's not precise. So I'm going to call myself on it. Anyway, how is everyone else doing with the sun in gate 36 crisis and the earth in gate 6 friction? So anyway, oh yes, Stephen, let's talk about 2027. So something that I've realized that the archive is accomplishing for me, and we talked about a movie called The 4%. There's this prophecy within human design, and it's not so much a prophecy as a larger scale turning of the wheel. Basically, what's happening is we're moving from an age of planning, which is the cross of planning. It's the cross that we're currently in as a global collective, and the cross that we're moving into is the sleeping phoenix. So the sleeping phoenix, and it's funny enough, it's what my partner Pasha's incarnation cross is, but the sleeping phoenix is rooted in individual identity. It's rooted in the individual emotional wave and the individual's experience of going to sleep and waking back up, falling into darkness, rising up out of light. It's what a lot of us are experiencing as dark night of the soul. Those are the rumblings of 2027, which is when we're going to go into this new age of from planning to the sleeping phoenix. That's happening in 2027, so we're crossing a threshold. So what it essentially means is that with each of us, our individual incarnation crosses, we each come in under a certain set of circumstances, and based off those set of circumstances, there's a part for us to play in the grand scheme of things. The earth has seasons and phases of its life, each with its own challenges and ways of overcoming those challenges. That's the locks and keys, which I'm going to do something on that pretty soon here because that's fascinating stuff. But the general meta of 2027 is that people are going to be start to be born more familiar and more naturalized in this process of sleeping and waking up. So imagine a world where no one is expecting you to care about things that you don't care about. That sounds weird, but most of us live in a world where most people in our lives, if we make a decision that goes against theirs, it creates some sort of rifts. Or even to take it another level further, most of us live in circumstances with people that if we don't agree on things, we can't be friends. Or we don't agree on things that are very important and we're still friends. In 2027, the idea is that there's not going to be that much, how you say, consideration or value placed in tribal and collective standards and norms. The value is going to be all about the individual. This is where look, if you're not useful to me, if we don't click, if you're not my people, I don't care about you. Like that's the reality that we're moving into. And there's an enlightened version of that, or an enlightened expression. There's a very light, beautiful expression of that. There's a very serious, very to the point expression of that. And we're already starting to see it in our lives. And so something that you can do to prepare for this is, again, not, and people are taking, in my opinion, people are inflating it, right? They're saying, oh, we need to make the world super inclusive, but that ultimately makes the world very exclusive to everybody. What we really need to do to prepare for 2027 is to train our nervous systems. We need to get to the point where these beings that are coming in, these these children that are going to be born post 2027, Ra has described them as being like autistic or mentally handicapped from our perspectives, but then like, really good at math, really good at music, really good at building, really good with colors, totally psychic. And the idea is that as an individual like that, a being without or with less resistance towards sensation, there is something about knowing who your people are, like who is actually going to help you stabilize yourself as an individual versus what societal and tribal norms of relationships can I engage in. It's literally going to be like, who is actually here, has my back, and actually compliments me, not just looks good next to me. Because there's a difference between chemistry and coherence, just like there's a difference between communication and comprehension, right? Like I could be communicating to you, but are you comprehending this? And there's multiple levels. You can comprehend it from the mind, you can comprehend it from the body. Those are two different types of comprehension. You can communicate it from the mind with words, what I'm doing, but your bodies might comprehend it. And that's probably why a lot of you are here, is because your bodies comprehend the vibration of what I'm saying. Yeah, and we're actually moving away from tribal mentality and collective mentality. Tribal mentality, I like to understand, is it's the us versus them. Us gives me what I need, them will sometimes try to take it away, but them are always caring about them needs. Collective is like, okay, them care about them needs, we care about our needs, but collectively we care about, a larger invading force that's committing, atrocities. So anyway, yeah, that's 2027. And again, this is the age we're in the death throes of a cross of planning. All of the infrastructures that we're seeing crumble are going to give way to companies and businesses. Commerce and all that stuff will survive. So don't think that capitalism or the patriarchy is going to fall. But it's going to create more space for individuals like myself, like yourself, to rise up and be like influencers are becoming the new celebrities. You guys see that, right? Like Kai Cent, who is the nine 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 nine. Like influencers are becoming the new celebrities because we're able to gather attention to ourselves in the same way that the media did in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s when everyone went to the or they didn't go to YouTube, they didn't have it, they had their TV and their radio. This is the stage that we're going into. Right on for human rights, but will people still be in empathetic during the sleeping phoenix? Yes, Roberta. So that's the thing about sleeping phoenix, guys, is like not everybody is going to wake up. Some people are going to go to sleep and they're going to go to sleep forever. And I don't mean like this lifetime. I mean like for the entirety of existence until the very last battle at the end of time. They're going to go to sleep forever. And if your nervous system, in my opinion, is not developed, which is what we do, me and my partner, what we do. If you're in the archive, Roberta, which I see you are, you're doing, in my opinion, out of all my 13 years of spirituality, etc., the number one thing that most people need to work on, and I've met yogi masters, I've met people who have sat with medicines thousands of times, I have met practitioners that have healed people of all kinds of stuff, but just because you can heal someone of cancer doesn't mean that you can save yourself. Trust me on this one. What it means is that everybody, no matter where you're at, can benefit from developing their nervous system, because we inherently live in a society today in the cross of planning where all of the planning, all of the infrastructure, all of the government systems, they're not actually here to make us more resilient, which is what 2027 is going to reward. Those systems are here to actually make us more like gears in a machine because we're a part of a larger machine. But that's just one season of life, right? Winter does to trees what it does to trees in winter. And if there's trees that are not responding to the environment around them, those are called invasive species, and they either take over or they don't do well. And, again, neither is great. But anyway, do you see congruences between 2027 and the age of Aquarius? I think they're the same thing. And regardless of what is the exact date, this is not where I don't necessarily play around with like accuracy. I love how accurate human design is, and that there is a fundamental law of nature, that there is a threshold, or there is a spectrum, a threshold that is spread out over time. And it's very obvious we're living in the 2027 age of Aquarius, 3D to 5D shift, whatever the hell you want to call it. People will argue, and they have been arguing about this. This is part of the problem of the cross of planning that is being resolved right now. It's the religious problem. It's like, oh, we call that God. And it's like, well, we call it Allah. Well, we call it the universe. Like, so the fact that you call it God, you see it this way, you must not be connecting to the one true God. Rave children are going to spit on us and be like, you guys are still having those stupid conversations? Because no one says that. No one says like, oh, you pray to this God, I pray to this God. Oh, I respect you, but deep down, right, in their physiology, in their nervous system, they're like, man, I hope this person finds. This is one of the things that infuriates me about Christians, is that they have a savior, and that the savior to them only has one name, Jesus Christ. But that's not even his name, Yeshua, right? That's not even his name. What is that? What is it actually talking about? Christ predicted this. He predicted the awakening of Christ consciousness within each one of our these individuals, us, you. But the way that you activate Christ consciousness is not by going to church. Church is a place for you to pray and sing, for you to move your body and be part of a locomotion and mechanic. But what do? It's still external authority. They tell you when to sit, they tell you when to stand. At least Catholic Church. Christians are a little different. But there still is this like, there is my way of being saved and no one else's. And that shit, lame. So my way of doing this is to teach you how to connect with your inner authority in your body through human design, through sensory design, through locomotion and movement, so that you can develop your nervous system so that you don't need an external authority anymore. I'm future-proofing your nervous system is what I'm doing. And it's not even something I can do. I say that because I can show you how to do it, but you have to put in the work, and it is not for the weak-willed. It is 100% not for the weak will. And if you have weak will, there's things you can do, things that I will show you that will help you to develop will. Like, that's the thing is, again, don't wish it were easier, wish you were stronger. So anyway, guys, I have this unboxing that I still haven't done. But I do want to say thank you guys for continuing to support. I literally feel like I'm in pre-launch with the archive, but all the people that are in the archive, we're building a really cool family in here. So if you are new to human design, if you've done human design for many years and you're looking for that next evolution that is more than just like changing the words around or shifting the focus, this is like an entirely new system that we're discovering. It's the physiological system, but it's like as if all the doctors in the world decided to burn their manuscripts and just with their awareness and actual skill and ability to sense disease decided to rewrite the frameworks, bring stuff from the past, but then update certain things that have great need of being updated. And so we're literally just getting deeper into how do we prepare our nervous systems for 2027. So invitation for this, again, link is in the bio. Bro, I've got wide open will center. Hit me up with some nervous system resets. Works. I'll see y'all in the archive. Green collar guy, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so like the thing about having an open will or undefined will, which sounds like what open is if you say wide open. Open is an undefined center that has no dormant gates, no hanging gates. Undefined is one has at least one hanging gate, and then of course defined has a channel. Something that's so important to recognize about human design is that it's a two-dimensional object. It's like a map. A map is not the same as a box full of treasure. If you're a pirate and you have a map, you don't have a box full of treasure. You have a way to get to a box full of treasure, or a promise to get to a box full of treasure. You just have to follow the map. Now, once you've followed that map, it's kind of like a video game. It's like you follow the map, you learn how to use your strategy and authority. If you're really, how do you say, intentional, you join the archive and you learn how to like physically use your strategy and authority better. But eventually it's like you find some kind of treasure. There's a hero's journey. There's a catharsis. There's like wow, I'm not a people pleaser anymore. Or rather, I can recognize when I'm doing that people pleasing thing. And the beauty of that is once you've found the treasure, then it's like the whole area map. Once the mission is concluded, it switches, it changes. The map, the avenues, the route that you took before, you could take that same route, but there's other routes that you can take. Other doors open, other possibilities open up to you when you continue to side with yourself, develop your nervous system. Because again, this is about going from two-dimensional body graph to three-dimensional human being. Because it's the three-dimensional human being that we use. We use the body, and the spirit uses the body to access spiritual worlds. Excuse me. Say that again. We use the physical body to access spiritual worlds. And because we have physical bodies, we're able to access certain spiritual worlds, in my opinion, in ways that those living permanently in those spiritual world cannot do. It's like a white person showing up in Japan. Everyone just loves them because they're so different. Or it could be the other way around. Who knows? I've been to the spirit world. We never leave the spirit world, guys. People say like I visited my ancestors. Like, bro, they're always with you in your genetic code. What are you fucking talking about? Sorry, I get spicy. Sorry, not sorry. All right, guys, should we do this unboxing? I have here a product from a company called I Am Sound. Basically, this guy on TikTok just started 3D printing flutes. Sometimes flutes cost like multiple hundreds of dollars. And I saw this guy printing them and he's selling them for like very affordable, like 30 bucks, I think. And I'm getting my first look at it and ooh, it looks nice. Tis a D4 little ocarina. Look at that logo. That's pretty cool. I Am Sound. I think one of my favorite things about this guy is that he is playing the flutes, but he's not playing them very well. And I don't mean that as like a dig on him, you know. What I mean is that anybody can play flutes. So anyway, let's do it. I'm gonna turn the reverb up for all y'all guys. I'm probably gonna post a video about this. And so anyway, I think there's gonna be a shop link for sure. All right. You guys ready for this? Sorry, TikTok, you're not gonna get the reverb, but for everyone else, prepare your root chakra. Well, that's fun. You definitely get a better sound with wood and clay, totally, but not for this price. Okay. Yeah, I have a wooden flute that I can share. This is another one of my sacred skills. materials give us different sounds. And one thing that I love about this instrument right here, and I mentioned it before, this costs like 30 bucks. This made out of clay would cost upwards of $100 typically if it was made well. Not all instruments are made the same. However, one thing that is so important, I think, and I said it before about the guy playing it and not necessarily playing it super well, not necessarily having like the lung capacity of a master flute player or the dexterity of a master flute player. I am sound. Such a good message. Anyone can do this. If you have breath and fingers, you can play the flute. So that's without the reverb, guys. Joy came to YouTube for the reverb. Sorry, I turned it off. I'll play some more. Oh, let's see, guys. Oh, that's what I wanted. I got to get my Blitzit going. I don't know about you guys. I've always been in resistance to using apps to track productivity. But dear God, has it been really productive using this app? It's called Blitzit. For any if you guys want to try it out, I don't have it posted anywhere, but Blitzit is cool. It was like 70, 80 bucks for a lifetime membership. So it just pulls up on my computer. I would show you guys, but anyway, such a see someone like they didn't get around to diagnosing me with ADD, but if they had a chance to sit me down and test me, they would have totally diagnosed me. Thank you for sharing and playing your flute. When you say we are using our body to experience the spirit world, is that the opposite of we are spirit in a body, since we are in our bodies now? Then is that the spirit realm? So, okay, great question, because there is a distinction between using our body to experience the spirit world and then also the spirit using our body to experience the physical world. But the difference is not necessarily something you can conceptualize with your mind. This is where people get off on talking about the spirituality as opposed to actually experiencing spiritual realities. And this is why people go to medicine journeys, because medicine journeys, like, you're forced to have the spiritual experience. But then a lot of the times people get addicted to talking about the spiritual experience after, so they use the medicine to be able to talk about it more, give themselves reasons to talk about it more. You don't need the medicine. One of the things that ayahuasca gets you to do, I'll show you right now. Combo, bufo, okay? It's locomotion. The medicine allows your mind to let go so that you can actually experience the full breath of contraction and extension. I think that's it. I think one of the most important things about the medicines, of course, is their natural compounds, but it's what they get our physical bodies to go through that actually creates most of the healing. And most of it just has to do with this hole and that hole, the poop hole. Stuff is in your body that is gumming up. It's like throwing rocks into your engine, not just your engine bay, but like into your transmission and into the combustion chambers, into the important parts. And medicine is a way of cleaning those things out. In Reiki, we're taught how to hunt byosin, or blockages in the body, not by mentally finding them, but by using a sort of sonar and a sensitivity. Now, you can do that for yourself. Echolocation in your body, like if you hum right now, can you feel it down here? Or is it just up here? Can you feel it in the tips of your hands? The tips of your fingers in your palm? Now, you can't tell if I actually can feel it, right? And I can't tell if you actually feel it. I could trick you guys and just say all this stuff. but it wouldn't be fucking cool at all. It wouldn't, or it wouldn't help anyone. And it would show over time because the techniques that I would share wouldn't do anything for anybody if I was just pretending. Speaking of Legend of Zelda vibes, what you know about this? I don't have that song down yet, but this is a different type of 3D print that um, my partner's mother's boyfriend printed, which is pretty cool. It's even got my incarnation cross on there, which is really cool. Um, but anyway, I just love instruments, and I love the idea of being able to 3D print instruments. And so I'm gonna make a video on this, guys. So if you guys want to buy this, I just saw it's a link on TikTok Shop now. So if you guys want to buy this, it's like $30. I do recommend it. It's pretty sweet. Let's sauce it up. Yeah. There's that reverb. Um, I'm gonna post a video of this, guys, and you can get one for yourself. Like I said, I'm all for like making things more affordable. I'm all for that. For show the Vegas nerves. Exactly, exactly. Oh, Roberta, back to your question. I love talking about this kind of stuff again, but what I love doing even more is like sharing some techniques with you guys. And so let's see, what are we doing today? So in the archive, we have been teaching every week. We move to a different center in human design, and we teach techniques that are going to help you to come into contact with those centers on a physical level. And I'll show you guys what I mean by using the face, because this is where we start. So, in the body, there are two types of receptors that we really need to develop a relationship with. That's baroreceptors, which sense pressure, and thermal receptors, which sense heat. Everything in the body, just like a internal combustion engine, has to be the right pressure and the right heat. Otherwise, it doesn't start, or it doesn't work properly, or you're using way too much energy to get a basic function out that shouldn't take that much energy. Pressure and heat. Typically, they're associated with each other. Where there's more pressure, usually there's more heat that builds. And as the pressure and heat build, what happens is it starts to wear away at the integrity of whatever chamber it's building in. For instance, puff your cheeks up with air. Now keep that on for as long as you physically can. Add more pressure, but don't let any pressure escape. Eventually, your body will get tired. The point where your body or your mind says, my body is tired, that's the part where you want to give up. That's how you develop will. And it starts in the face. Hold it out for as long as you can. Breathe, swallow. Swallow at different angles. Turn your head. Like, explore, build a relationship. Like, you don't have to marry your body yet. They're already married, but start dating them. Start dating your pressure and thermal receptors in your body. Start to explore, start to put them in strange positions. Start to see where your mind wants to give up and your body can say, no, no, we got this. We can go longer. A lot of people have it backwards, I think. You know, they're working out and they're like, oh, my body wants to give up, but I use my mind to tell my body to go further. I'm like, no, you don't. Your mind wants to give up. Your mind is interpreting all of this sensation and saying, oh, the body wants to give up. Body says, I'll go until I fucking collapse. That's what the body says. The body, if you hold your breath, try and pass out, and you pass out, your body will start breathing for you again. It's because life does not necessarily come from the body inside alone. A lot of people breathe. They think they're breathing. You're being breathed. You're being breathed. There's a certain pressure that is in the external world that's pushing air into your lungs that we call an inhale. We think we're pulling air into ourselves. What if air is being pushed into our lungs? And then what if it's being pulled out of us by that same pressure? This is what happens when you have life in a synergistic relationship with the external world. And so many of our senses that we develop are just for the external world. So that you can look good, so that you can sound good to others. How does it feel to be in your body though? And if you can't say I fucking love my body and I love being in this world, you don't love yourself. You're incapable of loving yourself. This is one of the things that Ra said that I was like, dude, that's so out of pocket. How does that actually that tracks? That tracks hard. Because there's certain people that say they love themselves, but they hate the world. Certain people say they love themselves, but they hate their body. They can't stand living it. They can't tolerate themselves. That's why they have to surround themselves and do activism and be really active on social media and shit. I'm not trying to shame those people. I'm just revealing, hey, you're shaming yourself and you're trying to blame other people. And that works most of the time. Not here. Not with my people. We know how to spot a fake because we've been spotting ourselves as the fakes. We've been spotting our minds pretending to be the body. It's so funny. I've never said it like that before, actually, in terms of working out. Because a lot of people say, like, oh, yeah, the body wants to give up. The fuck, the body does not want to give up. The body will go until you collapse. It's your mind that says, oh, we need to stop. We're damaging the integrity. So what is above the mind, or what actually has authority over the mind? You, me, I am. I am. I am has control. Our beingness has the ability to override the mind and the body. The body might really want to do something, but the I am convinced by the mind that, oh, that's so and so's not going to like that. We're driving. I'm driving. Trippy, it was glitching and repeating, saying, they say they love themselves, but they hate the world. It might have just been me repeating myself, though, honestly. No, probably glitching. Mercury is in Gatorade or something like that. I make fun of a lot of things, guys. But I also practice a lot of the things that I make fun of. That's why I make fun of them. Because no system is perfect. And no teacher is without flaws. That's why, that's what makes life interesting. Is because, like, your way is not perfect for me. My way is not perfect for you. But there might be some things that are useful to each other. If we can just get over the argument of who's right. Most people would rather be right than happy. Those are the same people that say they love themselves, but they hate the world or they hate their bodies. I can't teach you how to love your body. I can't teach you how to love the world. But I can show you how the physical body was designed over generations to interact with the external authorities and the internal authorities. And with that information, I'm pretty sure you can accept and love the body that you're in and the world. That's just my bet, though, because I've only done it like 1,000 times with people that are alive today, living much better lives than when they first started working with me. just maybe a couple thousand. Um, and again, it's not like I have some kind of special technique. It's actually like the opposite. I don't have a magic formula. I just have the truth. You got to develop your nervous system. You got to develop your locomotion and your movement. You got to learn how to listen to your internal authority. I'm a reflector, so I can actually tell you and show you and feel how much in resistance you are to yourself. And again, it's not a bad thing. Conditioning is not something that needs to be fixed. Conditioning is something that is craving the kind of attention that we give to the distractions. Positive pressure, negative pressure. This is wah, 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 so that I can breastfeed. That's what this comes down to. We're worms, guys. We're worms with hands and legs. Okay? Stuff goes in here and it comes out the other hole. That's the first thing that develops in our little baby bodies. And the most important thing that we can do is support the journey from to. It moves through so many different rooms and chambers. It starts in the mouth, then it goes into the throat, then it moves past the heart, touches the lungs, celiac ganglia the entire time. It's just like blah, blah, blah. Goes down into the core, down into the stomach is another diaphragm where there has to be the right pressure and right temperature so that the right chemicals can be released so that you can digest it. Pressure and heat, guys. This is what I feel like a broken record, but um also this is like worth repeating. It's why I think a lot of people are not very good at social media, because social media has inherently trained us to only see part of the truth. I always do that. I just get on thoughts and then my mind just is like, "No, I gotta do some other things." Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Anyway, guys, glad that I came across your live. I can't tune into the music with lyrics anymore unless it's happy vibe. Yeah, right? And there's even music with like, I think, really terrible lyrics that eventually you'll learn how to resist the mental programming that's coming through the words, the spells, because your energy is just that resilient. Like I mean, I'm sure you enjoy, um, when you're able to like tune out the words, or when a nostalgic song comes along where the words don't necessarily line up with your values, but you're able to like listen to it and enjoy it for different reasons. Like I love that like gritty, nasty, fuck around trap music. Some of that shit hits so hard, and I love it because, I hear the words, but they don't necessarily, like, they get burned up on entry. Like there's so many asteroids and things falling out of the sky right now that are like a threat to Earth if we didn't have our atmosphere. Your aura is here to help keep you safe and protect you. But if your aura is not burning, if your aura is not hot and it's not pressurized, it's not going to protect you from anything. So anyway, is the spirit world better than this one, or does it have its own hardships? I would say definitely that the spirit world has its own hardships, um, that we can't necessarily comprehend with our human minds? That's a cool question, Roberta. I would say one of the things that it's challenging to be in the world of the gods or the spirit realm is that when it comes to certainty or being connected to the future and the present, that there's not necessarily a lot of room for mutation and individuality, since everything is so connected in oneness. And also there's different layers to the spiritual world, right? And it's not about whether or not they have hardships that are theorized, because plenty of people talk about, the asuras and the titans versus the gods and all these pantheons, but it's like, have you sat at the river of remembrance? Have you drunk from the waters of the rivers of the underworld? Like, have you experienced that physically in your body? Those are allegories for experiences that these people are having in their bodies, not some far off fantasy thing. It's a physical experience that somebody has in their body, and their body is able to interpret it. And so when it comes to the spirit world being better, it's not better, it's just different, right? Like, you might grow up in a society where you have clean running water from a stream, and then you go to a city and you're like, this is dumb. This is not better. You also might go to a city and be like, oh my God, this is so much better. There's this and that and that and that and that and that. So again, it's really all a matter of perspective. There's definitely is no better, but there is more like a, hey, this is the appropriate world to be in for this time, and this is not the appropriate world. And again, your mind thinks it knows that, but your mind is just looking around and saying, what is everyone else doing? Oh, that's the thing to do. Okay, great. Your inner authority, which is either your celiac ganglia, that's your solar plexus, it's your sex organs, that's your sacral, it's your spleen, which is just literally your spleen, it's your heart, which is literally your heart, your G center, your blood, and your liver. All these points of authorities and in human design are here to let you know, hey, if you spend time building a relationship with how this organ feels in your body, not the conceptual energetics and what human design tells us, but how it actually feels. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it becoming harder? Is it becoming softer? When I vibrate my, can I feel that organ too vibrating? Because it's happening. I tell you guys, it's happening. Every time you're smelling, every time you're inhaling, you have an opportunity to smell. Every time you smell, there's an opportunity to swallow. Every time you exhale, there's an opportunity to either taste or smell your exhale. But we're like concerned with like cutting edge AI stuff. Guys, we are the cutting edge AI. Human beings are the cutting edge intelligence on this planet. And well, I'm just so excited about it too, because AI is going to make things possible for people like me that were just not possible before. That's what I'm personally excited for it. But anyway, guys, anyone got any human design related questions? Any human design related questions? Bring them through. So I just got my body graph done and report. Where do I go next? I mean, Roberta, I think you're already here. Um, After you get your body graph done and you get your report, one of the invitations that I offer is like, hey, come join the archive and start physically deconditioning. Now, if you're already in the archive, of course, it's like, well, what do? You watch Sensory Design Season 1. Um, Now, if you're not in the archive and you're not going to join the archive, what do? Essentially, you attempt to build a relationship with your physical body all by yourself, um, which is primarily done through uh, trial and error, strategy, and authority. Start tracking. Okay, when am I using my strategy? When am I considering my inner authority? What external authorities are hardest for me to consider? But a lot of it is like really like, how do I feel? Do I feel scared using my inner authority? Do I feel afraid using my strategy? Do I feel fearful, etc.? And you got to be honest with yourself because again, where you're at is where you're at. Yes, I wonder about my split a lot, like with the two people that bridge my split. So when you are bridging splits, one of the things that's important to recognize about conditioning is like wherever you're not conditioned or wherever you're not activated, a lot of the conditioning is going to form in the, like if you have 35, a lot of conditioning is going to form in 36, right? Or it's in the part that you don't have that there's going to be a lot of emphasis on rather than the energy that you do have or the activation that you do have. And so one of the things that I want people with split definition to understand is that again, you can attack it from the mind, but you can only get so far. Like the mind is fast, but it can't go far. The archive is Tatiana. Joy is talking about the membership that me and my partner Pasha created for people that want to learn how to. Oh, my horse is going into my trash. Hold on, let me scare this bug away. Go on. Go on, buddy. Nothing in there for you. Go, go, go. Please, bud. Come on. Nothing in there for you. Go. There's plenty of grass up the hill. Go on, get the grass up the hill, buddy. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, Joy says, I've gone it alone for a year and was only able to discover just a few things that they're doing. Yeah, it's like the fast track for human design deconditioning is what the archive is. Because again, everyone approaches it from the mental, because that's what Ra did, was he gave lectures on this is the body graph and these are the nature. And if you watch people, but if you watch yourself, if you feel pressure, right? How many of you in the live, let me know, just put 3 emoji in the chat if you've ever felt this. You're with someone, but you can tell like the person doesn't want to be there. Like they want to leave. And they're not saying they want to leave or prefacing it or, you know, getting ready to go. They're just sitting there in that energy of like, I really want to leave. I really want to get on to what's next. But they're just sitting there. How many of you have felt that? Drop 3 emojis in the chat if you've ever felt that. McQueen, yep. Yeah. So many people have felt that. That's called unprocessed root pressure. That's stress in the other person's body that is not moving them. It's like just building up in them and they're going to pop like a balloon. So, what do you do with that? Most people just feel uncomfortable. They're like, but they don't show it on their face. They're just like, some people that are actually deconditioned will say, hey, do you want to go? Do you need to get onto something? And the person's like, oh my God, thank you for reminding me. Their body never forgot. Their mind did, though. You don't navigate with the mind because it can't hold on to all of the points of contact in the body. It just can't. The mind is for externalizing that authority. The body is for internalizing it. So that's what we do in the archive is we teach you how to associate these seemingly disembodied energetic things. Like I told you guys about this and you guys were able to experience that sensation. Right? Like I told you about the experience and you're like, "Oh yeah, I felt that before." Now what I'm telling you what we're doing is instead of just being aware of it, It's being able to feel it in my root, contextualize it. What does that sound? So funny. I don't usually wear the headphones, so I'm hearing like all of the sounds, which is kind of fun. Anyway, it's being able to use your root and use your feet to respond intentionally. Because it's like if someone is in your space and feeling that, yeah, it's probably my pigs. Um, it's just so high definition with these mics. I love it. Um, your root being able to respond to somebody else's root and say, "Hey, I think it's time for you to go," or I feel like there's a lot of pressure building up. I don't necessarily feel like I have anything to do. Is there something that you need to do? Oh my God, yes, exactly. Become the type of person that doesn't reinforce other people's lies to themselves. By becoming the type of person that actively hunts lies that your mind is telling you about your body and that is telling other people about your body. You have to actively become a hunter of mistruths and lies within your own body. That's how you develop true sustainable empathy. You look at any psychic nowadays, whether they know it or not, this is what they're doing. The reason that they can be psychic sustainably is because they hunt the lies within themselves. There's plenty of psychics that are doing it unsustainably. Those are the ones that burn out, that, you know, go crazy, that just like commodify spirituality. They're the ones they're sinning against themselves. They're going against themselves in many ways. So the key is that you have to fill your own cup up first before you start to pour into other people. Thank you for the example. It helps me understand my progress. Oh my God, is that a pig? Yes, it's a pig. I made it again. Yes, Bree, what's up? I'm a projector, and the wisdom for me is correct timing, but some folks won't listen. Right, which is like one of the lies that you have to recognize yourself about yourself, Halima. And I don't know if you've been in my live before, but I'm gonna give it to you like I give it to everybody. One of the lies is that people won't listen. The truth is that you're not talking to the right people. Or the truth is that you can't identify the right people. Or the truth might be that um, you don't want people to listen to you because you don't know if what counsel you're giving actually works. So you see how this kind of frame of reference is like, it's not about the other people. The people are the reflections. What is it about me? What is the deeper truth that I am hiding from, running away from, or like attempting to like move even though it's an unmovable truth? Truth with a capital T. This isn't your truth. Your truth might be that, oh, no one listens to me. The truth is that you're talking to the wrong fucking people. And the truth might be that you're talking to those people because you're afraid of what it would be like to not have those people in your life, even if they're not listening to you. Whole thing about being a projector in is being an expert in ourselves, right? Yeah, so like the projector is here to be a guide, but how are you going to guide people if you don't even have a body that's capable of perceiving truth? That's what this is. This is about. Human design is not about, manifesting your dream life. Human design is, hey, let's learn together using the hall of reflections and mirrors and projections and stuff. Let's learn how to surrender to the body. Let's learn how to tap into the wisdom of the body. And again, it's not some theoretical thing. Wisdom of the body, it's translated in the form of pressure and heat. But most people, when they're under pressure, their nervous system registers that as some kind of danger. There's some kind of fear. Oh, I don't like deadlines. I don't like pressure. Well, then does anything get done? Or do you just progressively go deeper and deeper into an echo chamber where no one likes to pressure each other, but no one is processing their pressure because no one has to? Is this how children become adults, by the way? As a child, I saw in my dreams a lot of what's happening right now in my life. Right. Yes. Bree, valid, exactly. Hey, Studley. Hello, my lord. I'm so happy that you keep sharing your gifts. I don't know how to do anything else. One thing, I'm just so grateful now that I'm like, feel safe enough in my body to be like, yeah, I'm just going to do it my way. Because that's something that I feel like a lot of people are really afraid of doing. It is, again, it's like, Having people around is like, you can, if you're working with other people, you can blame other people for why things fail. If you're doing it yourself, you can only blame yourself. But there's a magic in that, because then once you do that, then you can start to identify people that actually you can go far together with. So, Lila, if you have a defined solar plexus, then you have emotional authority and are supposed to wait to respond. Right? Even with people with undefined solar plexus, you're still supposed to wait to respond. You're supposed to wait for emotional clarity. Now, how do you achieve clarity from a somatic standpoint? Well, you don't run away from the emotion. You don't just sit around on your hands waiting for it to pass. It's like there's a package that just got delivered, bring it inside, open it up, unpack the stuff. And a lot of the times, emotional waves, it's literally just, it's like an explosion, or it's a vacuum. It, the emotional wave is designed to help you discover truth. And by design, I mean your body designs a certain emotional stimulus to get your body to move water, to get it to move energy out of your body so that you can make room for new things or old things that were let go of, that didn't need to be let go of. I'm a generator and I have children with a projector. Is that compatible? 100%. You just have to recognize that when something is yuck for you, you're going to condition your partner who does not have a defined sacral to also go, yuck, that's gross. And you're unintentionally going to judge him and shame him for not being satisfied by the things that satisfy you. The more that you can reel that in and recognize that your projector partner has a different way of moving through life, stop expecting him to be the source of satisfaction. Stop expecting him to dislike the same things that you like, or even having a response. You say, I don't like that. How do you like that? He's like, I don't know. How could you not know? Cut that shit out. That's you projecting your inability to accept your own sacral response onto your partner. That kind of relationship is compatible. There's no type like that can't work with another type. The only types that can't work with other types are types that don't recognize their type, or they rely on the body graph to tell them who they are. They don't actually touch the body. They don't touch anything below the neck. You speak the truth. This is absolutely a huge pain point for me in the undefined heart. Yep. Got you, Halima. And again, it's not theoretical. It's like, if your heart doesn't feel supported, grab your arms, drive them into your elbows, like try and squeeze yourself with your arms. And then instead of letting your lungs expand outward, breathe in, but use your lungs to expand inward and hug your heart. Put pressure on your heart. A lot of people are afraid of putting pressure on their heart because they think it means they're in danger. But it's literally support. It's how your organs are not trying to fight for space in your body anymore. They do that while the mind is like taking a 500-hour yoga teacher training course thinking that it's learning something about the body. I thought I was a projector for years, just found out I'm a manifester. The fuck? Brick, how the fuck does that happen? Did you have the wrong birth time or something? That's pretty interesting. I love that. What's the story behind that? That is a trip. That happened with another friend of ours who apparently didn't give us the right birthday, but for years just let us call him the wrong type. Which again is like, human design. It's not necessarily that you are your type. That's just the treasure map. You got to find the treasure for yourself. And each design is so unique and different. How do I work it out? So for anyone that doesn't know doesn't know what body graph or type they are, just go to my website, Reikimarco.com. Link is in the bio, and plug in your information. So wrong birth time, or I've heard some folks use dissonance. Yeah, so there's sidereal human design, which is a trash, and then tropical human design, which is the thing that the voice gave to Ra. The difference between sidereal and tropical, you're looking at different lifespans. So tropical is like 100-year lifespan. sidereal is like thousands of years. So not that either one is wrong or right, but when the voice told Ra how to calculate human design, it didn't like forget about sidereal astrology. It was like, this is how you calculate the charts using tropical astrology. This is how you calculate the global crosses using sidereal astrology. And again, at the end of the day, the framework of human design without any activations, just being able to look at the body graph and see the channels, like that is all a dumbed down version of the physical body. The connection between the head and the ajna and the throat, there's 6 channels. You know how many nerves, how many cells are involved with transferring energy from here just down to here? Yeah. Guess who's getting seafood boil? Wait, what does that mean? Is that an inside joke? I don't get it. Joy, thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate you guys. Anyone liking the live? Haven't got any tiny dinosaurs this time, but that's okay. I'm not here for the gifts. I'm here for the message. I think I didn't enter my birth date in 24-hour times, 20 versus 8. Ah, okay. So I guess one of the interesting things, right, Brick, for you is like, does being typed as a manifester feel more authentic than being typed as a projector now knowing that you have the birth time entered in right? Garrett, got a question about getting the nervous when I see the pretty lady I like and not talking to her even though I feel like I should. Got you. Love you, man. Okay, so one thing that as a reflector and how I found my dream lady is there was a lot of my mind that was like, I want to talk to this person. Like I want something from this person. And one of the things that I was learning at that time, especially in relationship, was that I was wanting to get to the place where the right woman would just like fall into my lap and I wouldn't have to chase her. And I did that because I spent a lot of my past serious relationship, 4 or 5 years of in and out with a person, that the more that I focus on my woman, usually the less focused on my purpose I am. And so what I'm saying is that if you're focused on your purpose, the right woman will show up. It might not be the pretty lady that you want to talk to or that your mind thinks you should talk to, but the right woman will show up if you're aligned with your purpose. And again, purpose not from the mind, but like you're living. Your physical body is living. And that's something that again, you're training with us, Garrett. So it'll take some time. But these shimmers of the mind are just shimmers. They're just illusions. You might be able to talk to that pretty lady, but unless and for a reflector too, it's like the world just wants to give us shit. If we just allow ourselves to be ourselves, the world will just give us miracles and all kinds of beautiful things, but we have to let it. We can't fill that space up with some pretty girl that we like because our mind likes it. That's so good, bro. My purpose right now is to empower people to financial freedom and generational wealth while cultivating health. Yeah, man, focus on that. Like, this is the thing is like the same way that women become obsessive about raising children, like let them be obsessive about partnership. You be obsessive about manifesting empowerment and freedom and wealth and health. You be focused on that. The right woman will see, oh, that's the guy that I want to obsess over. And then also another thing that you got to recognize is like, everyone is looking to the man to initiate. Oh, but then now we're in a world of feminist empowerment so that women can initiate as well. Who gives a fuck about gender right now? It's like what is actually happening, right? Because your mind is like, oh, that's a pretty lady right there, but your body is probably like, bro, we are stressed out and we need to accomplish our mission, otherwise we're going to explode and get depressed. So put that energy where it wants to go, and that's sacral energy. Understand, like a lot of men, they've programmed their sacral energy to be driven towards women, and they think it's because they want the closeness or the family or the sexual release or whatever it is. What it really is it's misguided creative life force that's meant to make the world better, to help you manifest something into the world, a product, an idea, a being a part of a team. It's sacral energy. It doesn't want to like do it and release. That's not what it wants to do. It wants to like build something. The same way that the sexual energy for a woman wants to create a child and all these other creative stuff. People are trying to fill voids with other people. Exactly. That's another way to say it. Totally. So freaking true, bro. So stressed. Be stressed. You know what I mean? Like I'm more stressed out than ever, but I'm also more relaxed than ever. Because I take time to consciously relax and I take time to consciously stress myself out. I have a flat rock in my bus that when I'm feeling too stressed out about stuff, or I'm feeling like I don't know if I should be more stressed out about this, I go lay under the rock and I let my body tell me. Because when you're being crushed by like 100 pounds or 200 pounds, it becomes very clear the difference between your mind and what your body wants. So good, bro. I was sprinting the other day, and one of the keys is that if you want to sprint fast, you actually have to be relaxed. Totally, dude. Which is so cool because tension and relaxation are just two sides of that same coin, right? Shaman 85, love your show. Love you, my friend. Grateful. Grateful for y'all. Man, I got so many freaking codes that I want to share with y'all. And it's like you already have them inside you. You've just yet to recognize them and identify them. Bree, have a wonderful day. Was just popping in. Love you, Bree. Catch you later. Again, I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, and we have a call in the archive at 11 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. Stay up. You already know. Levity, baby. 11 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, which I know apparently everyone else did the daylight saving time thing. And so the timing is different than it was, which hopefully is not going to be too much of a deal. But anyway, I got an archive class happening after this. We're going into the solar plexus, which is makes a lot of sense because the transits just shifted. Sun went into gate 36, Earth went into gate 6. Again, these are just themes. And even if they're placebo themes, they're fucking themes. It's like there's a sequence to all of this. And whether you join at the beginning, the middle, or the end of a song, if you know the song, you can sing along. Because you're not waiting for everyone else to start so you can start because you know it in like a rigid kind of mental fashion. You just know the song. So if you know the dance, people can be in the middle of a dance. You could just jump in, start dancing with them. You don't even need to know the dance. You could just use your peripheral vision, see them. I should do more TikTok dances. They're so dumb though. Vibrations, my friend. So, Christy, I have the Crisis Gate. It's an active transit. Do you have any suggestions on how to ride this consciously? So, when it comes to the 36 Crisis, it's about comparison. It's about you looking at someone on Instagram or someone in your life and saying, ah, they're much more sexually advanced than I am or emotionally advanced than I am. It's called Crisis. In the I Ching, it's called the darkening of the light. And so it's something where it's like you feel really confident about yourself, and then you see somebody else doing it, and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be so confident. It's a comparison. And so what you are endeavoring to do is reframe comparison to contrast. It's like the floor and the ceiling are not comparing themselves to the other. The floor is like, oh yeah, everyone steps on me because I'm their favorite. And the ceiling is like, oh, no one steps on me because I'm their favorite. It's like the ceiling looks down at the floor and says, that's awesome, people step on you. And the floor looks up at the ceiling and goes, that's great that no one's stepping on you. So it's revolutionizing your frame of reference from contrast or from comparison to contrast. change the platform of your thought, right? And quite literally go from thinking up here to thinking with your body. So I'm on your link now. Which one do I get in from here? So Greenfinger, if you want to actually join, if you want to join the archive, which is what I would recommend everybody does as their first step, you could get a report, but really the archive is really what's going to be most helpful for everyone, because you can be able to learn all this stuff that I'm talking about kind of like in a discombobulated way. It's a very structured, simple way. That one, the archive, the button of the archive. Do you still use your didgeridoo? I do. Indeed, I do. Um, yeah. I was like gonna play it and then I have to go pee. So anyway, I gotta go pee. But anyway, Christy, let me know if that talk about the 36 transit, because when the 36 is transiting and you already have that gate active, it's more so like you're just gonna see everybody else moving through something that you move through on a regular basis, and you can be like helpful to them in offering that sort of, hey, it's not comparison, it's contrast, but still do your own work, because but you never stop doing the work. So anyway, I gotta pee. Be right back, guys. All right, I'm not gonna put these headphones on anymore because my ears don't like it as much when I wear the headphones on my head. Thank you, thank you. So helpful. Oh, you're welcome, Christy. Yeah, and this is, see, again, it's not like human design is wrong. It's just like there's training wheels on it. You know, it gets you to ask the right questions finally, but to which part are you asking them? Not saying the body is always right either. The internal authority is sometimes objectively fucking wrong. Like sometimes people genuinely want to get up on stage and use the microphone, but they're at somebody else's concert. That's objectively wrong, in my opinion. Because what that really is a demonstration of is the fact that, hey, look, if you've got a message to share, you don't need to steal someone else's stage. And if you do need to steal somebody else's stage, it means you're not tending to that sacral energy. That's more of the mind. That's more of the confused. Oh, my sacral just brought me up on stage and stole the mic away from the performer so that I could share the message that God wanted me to share. That's not your fucking. That's not God, bro. That's your fucking mind. Take some responsibility. That's your way of getting the message out, because you're not actually building a platform for yourself because you're too busy chasing ass. I'm talking to myself, or a younger version of myself. A younger version of myself that was absorbing and sampling a lot of energy from their partner. Man, that's savage. I hope that she would be at a place in her life where if she heard me say that, she would be like, yep. You got me again, Marco, with your fucking reflections. All right, guys. Well, hey, I miss my my business partner, so I'm gonna rope him into some extra pre-game time before the transits. Unless anyone has like a really fascinating question that you could keep me here, you could keep me here. I'm only gonna be here for another 10 minutes or so. If you have a fascinating question, I'll answer one more really good question, um, and then I'm gonna go get ready for the archive. Again, if you want to work with me, something that's literally happening in like 30 minutes is we are doing a call in the archive, meaning we have a special link and a special channel to show people sensory design, which is our proprietary method of using the body graph as a map of physical deconditioning. Reflection is better than deflection. Sometimes, sometimes I deflect things. People ask me how I see them, and I'll deflect straight up, because I don't want to reflect to them, because I don't feel like they're receptive, or because I don't have the energy, or because I fucking flat out don't want to. So sometimes I will deflect. But it's knowing the difference between like when is a reflection appropriate and when is a deflection appropriate. Because sometimes people want a reflection that would kill them. And I'm not going to do that. Boom, I'll blast it that way. I'll distract them from that for a little bit so that they're a little bit less hostile towards themselves and their shadows. When do you go into the Discord? So I am Infinite Abundance. I don't really go in the Discord anymore. I was just in there last night actually, and I had some interesting things come up around the Discord because I've been a part of a lot of communities, and I created it's called Evolve in the Discord, an invitation for anyone to join. It's like a free form, open world, human design boiler pot. You know what I mean? It's not a place where I'm like actively teaching. I just love the way that you can create different channels for stuff. And so it's just open to conversation. Very little moderation, very little teaching. The archive is the level up from that. The archive is a paid membership, and there's like a lot more structured discussion going on in there because I actually have something that I want to share with people now. Discord is literally just an experiment to see what happens when we make a Discord server and we make the roles representative of your thing. Ideally, I'd love to have all of the features of Discord as like the paid membership, which I had some thoughts about that last night. I was like, oh my God. Which is totally top secret stuff, so don't tell anybody, guys. Anyway, I've seen a lot of what's happening now as a child, which is interesting. Oh, you said that before. Yeah, it's, again, in our cells, in our bodies, I believe is the truth of everything. What is something every manifesting generator should know? That an won't kill you, but suppressing an over time will give you diabetes or cancer or something. If you're afraid of going or if you're afraid of if you're afraid of making sounds, or if you're afraid of sounding weird, other people watching you and judging you, you don't understand what true danger actually is. And I would say, especially as a manifesting danger, it's very important for everyone as well, to expose themselves to safe danger in a safe way. Martial arts, jiu-jitsu, boxing are some of the best ways to do that. But exposing yourself to danger as a sacral being is very important, because you got to learn how to discern the difference between your mind posing as your sacral response and your actual sacral response. And danger is one of the greatest teachers. Danger and violence are some of the greatest teachers, and they're very underrated because not a lot of people actually have a relationship with violence. Right? A lot of people go to the gym to be violent, but they're not aware of that. They're like, I'm working on myself. I'm working in so that I'm not violent. It's like, bro, you're lifting weights. Your strength. You're literally tearing your own muscles. That's violent, and there's nothing wrong with that. Stress. That's the same thing. It's like people have this like idea about what violence is and how dangerous it is. It's actually more dangerous to not connect with the violence inside you than it is to connect with the violence and actually have a gauge on it. Because a lot of people, I'll say this, a lot of people have the switch. Oh, bro, I don't fight. I see red and then bodies hit the floor. Yeah, your body, you fucking loser. It's not a switch. It's a dial. You can dial up the intensity, but most people just go to 100 as soon as like, oh, you put your hands on me. Ah, I'll go kill you. If someone puts their hands on me, I'm like, hey, what are you doing with this hand? What do you want to happen? What do you want to happen? You really want that to happen? I don't go for the throat. I just slap them on the face, discombobulate them, put them on the ground, put my knee on their chest. Do you still want this to happen? People that have a switch are more dangerous. Someone that actually knows how to use the dial, that person is safer to be around because they are more deadly. Because they don't freak out. If they get punched in the face, they're not like, oh, I'm going to die. It's like, I've been punched in the face so many thousands of times, I can't even count. That makes me safer? Yes. That makes the people around me safer? Yes. Society would say, oh, you're a violent person. I'm like, yeah, I'll take your head off if it's necessary. But hopefully you'll be able to sense the aura coming off me and be like, this guy's going to take my head off. I don't want to fight this guy. And actually, that's how most of the fights in my life has gone. I've dialed up the intensity, and the person just sits down and shuts the fuck up. because it's not oh, I think I'm this anime character. It's like, dude, I've been stabbed, I've been cut, I've been knocked out, I've been all these things. And I'm a very spiritual man. So anyway, thank you guys for letting me flex on you real quick. I'm going to go get ready for the archive and have some good conversations with Pasha before class starts. So thank you guys so much. If there is anything that I can do for you, a report, a human design app, a one-on-one session, all of that will be available on reikimarco.com. The link is in the bio. Just as well, the thing that I really, really want all of you to at least come experience and see what we've got going on is join the archive. The reason I want you to do that is because everything that I've been talking about is laid out in this like very simple, do this for this long and you'll get these results. You do have to do it though, of course. It's not like you can just buy a gym membership and not go or train. I mean, you could even go, but just do nothing. You actually have to train because this is about your relationship with your body. No one can build it for you. Please join the archive because so much of my work in human design and Reiki and martial arts has led me to sensory design, has led me to the archive, to teaching people the way of physical deconditioning. And not that we have the right way, but that we're the only ones that are actually saying, hey, look, there is no way. You have to find your own way. When I say this is the way, it's this is my way. And if you say this is the way and you mean this is your way, no, that's your way. You got to do it your way. I got to do it my way. And then we can celebrate each other. We're different, but we are the same. Same, but different. Do you have any fun games you play along with all the changes to our charts as reflectors, feeling bipolar at times, need a humorous coping mechanism? Ashley, that's hilarious. I have a lot of games that I play with myself. I'll like try and juggle while I'm on my slack line. Most of they're all somatic based. They're all physical activity based. When I'm feeling really angry or when my emotions are like really heavy, I swing my lightsaber around and I fight shadow versions of myself. So yeah, I have a lot of games that I can play and I could talk about that for a long time, but I want to go. So I love you guys. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I go live. Come join the archive. Class is starting in 24 minutes. Okay, love you guys. See you next time. See you next week. Ahoo!